Are you looking for a 10 out of 10 anime? Then Chainsaw Man is the one for you. This anime is pure gold. Who would have thought when someone gets a chainsaw whacked on his head? The opening is really nice and each episode has its own ending, which we just have to appreciate. It all starts with Denji, who goes out to make a living and immediately kills Branch-san. We will never forget you! Since he has already sawed off half of his body and he can't get out of the death trap by cutting down trees, the only thing left to do is to cut down Devil. That's where the 1000 Eyes Restrict comes in handy, for which he even gets 70k, of which only 1800 are left over. The Yakuza really takes him to the cleaners just because of his father's death. He killed himself, which is why Denji has to work for them. The Yakuza with their gangster Mr. Bean car. At the same time, he also finds his fine doggo, which he saves with blood, and it has been his chainsaw since then. Well, at least he lives comfortably, which he ruins with healthy calving blood. Fittingly, the Yakuza comes back who have a new devil for him. Off to the Mr. Bean car and into the fray. Only this time, it's a trap. You can't even trust the Yakuza anymore. They have teamed up with the devil and let their anger out as a zombie army on Denji. Okay, first playing catch where the zombies act more than dumb. Then getting down to work, and after Denji landed as a stew in the trash, his doggo fuses with him, which makes him a devil himself as soon as he starts the engine. Now he's a real pain in the ass for the zombies and the devil. Well oiled, he also gets smoothly through any zombies, and the devil can go back to hell. Unlike Denji, who now has new employers and has reached his heaven. New employer, or rather Makima's pet dog. But at least she seems nice and even feeds him. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. She also gives him hope, but first he has to go on patrol with his new colleague, Aki, who doesn't want him as a partner and shows it to him in a very emotional way. A kick in the balls isn't convincing enough. Then there's more to come. Aki's plan for reproduction completed. But the fight continues, along with kicks in the balls. Knockout. The perfect team, the perfect roommates. Denji now enjoys the most disgusting bread in the world, then goes for a nice bath and falls asleep while taking a dump. A life of luxury. And all he has to do is go on a mission every now and then. This time, a house visit to a demon, also known as a person possessed by a devil. Aki wants to see Denji's power, but only sees his good handling of an axe because of pity. Actually, he didn't want to dirty the magazines. Then there's also a demon partner. Powers appearance. Has breasts. So welcome. She used to be a feared demon and on patrol she kills another devil. Which she shouldn't do. Oh well, it could be worse. Like if Power's cat Meowie was being held hostage by a devil. That's why she makes Denji the best offer. And he jumps right on it. A proposal for Power to be let out and for them to go together to the devil. But it's a trap. You can't even trust a demon anymore. A hit to the head and off to the friendly house to the Super Devil, who had a few too many rare candies. He takes a sip of Denji's blood, regenerates his masturbator and wants to have some fun outside. But before that, Meowie is snagged as a dessert. Power picked her up where she was skinny as hell, fat had to be a chunk and took her close to her heart. Oh well, that's it for Meowie. Power gets swallowed too, and even then he just thinks about snacks. But he didn't thought of Denji. The chain's getting leaded ripped and Batman is cut up. He tries to defend himself with Supersonic, but it's not very effective. The chainsaw is slightly damaged, but it can still run. So that's it for him. What a beautiful day. The birds are chirping, they taste good. Life is beautiful with Meowie on the side. Through her, Power has learned that blood not only means death, but also warmth. Bowel is surely warm too, where she wakes up in Denji's arms together with Meowth. He not only saved her, but there's also something to celebrate because his arm exploded. Oh wait, something's not right. A white devil has appeared, the wife of the bad devil. And not only is Denji now missing an arm, but he can't even properly digitize anymore. Then it will have to work out like this. He should be able to manage an earthworm even in this state. He still has one fist left. With his mini chainsaw in his head he can do more. They now even have real fun when Denji was saved by Aki. After a blood transfusion, Denji's arm is whole again and Aki had to give a piece of his skin for summoning the Fox Devil. Aki could now betray them, but he will let them pass one more time if Denji listens to him.
安心してくれ。どーんと期待しといてくれ。
Quickly dress up and give Makima a false report. Well, if Aki hasn't softened. Probably because of his super roommate. They are now also getting growth with power. Yeah, doesn't work out so well. But at least Denji can finally get what he wanted. Where she has probably liked it even more than him. That makes him pretty depressed because he reached his goal, but it wasn't that great at all. And that's where Makima knows the best way to get him back on track. First, turn him on, then he may also get at her, and if he also finishes the Pistol Devil, he can make a wish.
大丈夫いでしょ。
But in order to find him, they first have to find some fragments of him. Special Unit 4 goes to the hotel where someone with such a fragment is supposed to be. Eyepatch motivates the man briefly because whoever kills the devil gets to play tongue wrestling with her. And the opponent is none other than Geodude, who became 2-Dude faster than expected. It wasn't him at all. The real one is a lot more powerful and traps them in the 8th floor. Neither the stairs nor the windows of the rooms lead away from there. One of them, who only became a devil hunter to finance her brother's studies, although she would rather go to university herself, dispersed at this situation. But the situation is even worse than expected, because it seems that even time has stopped. While Aki is working and searching for the devil, the others are together in the room, reminiscing about the past, where Aki was convinced to smoke by Himeno. He's back too, and that with bad news. Geodude is getting bigger and bigger and wants to eat Denji to let the others go. Knocking out the coworker, Aki's fox doesn't work, Himeno's devil does, but that only makes him angrier, and he gets bigger because it's not his real body.
どうせ俺を殺しても外には出さねえくせによ。
Only the devil would have to stick to it, but they don't want to do it. And because the devil is really freaking out now and the two are pretty scared, the only choice is Aki's sword or Denji's death. Himeno doesn't want Aki to use the sword because it will reduce his lifespan, so he saves Denji from a knife thrust and bleeds a bit. So the only thing that helps is the Chainsaw Man. And let's go to infinity! The good thing is, no matter where he attacks, he always hits. Although he's also getting hit hard, as long as he keeps drinking blood, everything will be fine. 3 days later, everyone is at the end of the rope, but the devil finally gives up because he can't take the pain anymore. Mission accomplished!
晴れてるし、クソした後みてえな気分だぜ。
The new ones are welcomed, so they eat and drink. Where Denji is still at a free kiss with Himeno, only that Makima is there too. But then Himeno starts, and that with way too much dedication, because she pukes in his mouth and he swallows it down out of reflex. But what came down can come up again. He must have puked so damn hard that he faints and wakes up at Himeno's house, who gives him something to drink in a special way. And just as Denji is about to reach his goal, a lollipop is found in his pants, which was given to him by Makima. So he sets his priorities and passes. The next morning they make a deal. Himeno will try to set Denji up with Makima, and Denji will try to set Himeno up with Aki. It's just too bad that Makima was shot on a trip. Just as more and more agents fall victim to assassinations. The Yakuza want revenge for the old man from the beginning and are now after Denji and the others. The swordman arrives, who has a fierce sword fight with Aki. But Aki cheats quickly and calls his curse for help, which kills the swordman. Nice of him. But he's not dead yet. A woman appears and helps him back to his feet, so he can finish off Aki without a chance. Power doesn't want to help. Himeno's demon is also too scared until she sacrifices her entire body to be able to use the whole devil and save Aki with the jutsu of 1,000 neck clappers. Piece by piece her body dissolves as a snake eats the devil. So that was one Kulich less. But she was still able to power up Denji with the last of her spiritual strength. Sword or chainsaw, the fight is on. And despite the swordman being weakened, he delivers a fierce fight. Support arrives taken hostage, but the swordman and his Shindo don't really care. Everyone is dead, except Makima. She's still alive, killed the attackers, and is now hanging out with others in Kyoto. In a shrine she gets some prisoners to sacrifice them, and to completely shatter one enemy after the other. Seriously, to shatter them completely! All but the two strongest, of course. And there's also another survivor who's really up for revenge. Thanks to her little action scene, she was at least able to save Denji and put the enemies to flight. After that incident, there are also personal changes. Makima takes over full control and has to deal with a few layoffs. Aki has a short hospital visit, has only 2 years left to live, and is a little sad about Himeno. Quite different than Denji, who now notices that he's become quite stone-faced when it comes to emotions. Power and Denji now get a new trainer, who kills devils as his favorite hobby, which he also shows immediately. But it doesn't hurt much, a little bit of blood and the two are cured again. And his training is also very simple. He's the best devil hunter, so the devil that kills him must also be the best devil. And so the fight begins. Or rather, the torture for the two demons. Aki has more visitors, doesn't want to give up and gets more visitors, while the other two go completely mad at this shit. Boy, just walking home after such a training. Really brutal from the trainer. The next day, however, the two are already prepared and start right when he arrives. Yeah, it was worth a try. Well, at least they have free time today. Haha, he was just joking. Not even a devil hunter can be trusted. Aki also has to go through something, because his wolf doesn't come anymore when he whistles. Therefore, he walks in pimp steps to another devil for a new contract. Off into the room with Gaara's Sand Eye. The devil shows up, who reads Aki's future and sees that he will die cruelly. So he just wants to live in his right eye in return to finally get the Sharingan like Kakashi. Meanwhile, the other two don't do so badly. But the enemies don't sleep and have their secret weapon zombies ready for war. Makima wants the names of all members from each clan and goes into the Yakuza personally. And with a few eyes as leverage from their relatives, even the Yakuza are intimidated enough. Meanwhile, a major operation at the opponent's building. Special Unit 4 goes in. They all rampage the zombies together, then the first living one arrives who doesn't want to be alive anymore. They continue divided up, where Makima again helps from a safe distance. Then Aki immediately continues against the devil of Himeno, who is a real deal with all the hands. First a neck massage until unconsciousness, then for some reason a cigarette, and without fear make the devil a head shorter. Then with assistance capture the woman as well. Perfect! Power powers up against zombies, while Denji wants to take on Swordman. First he tries it Naruto style with the Talk no Jutsu, but when that didn't work, he goes for the crocodile method. They now have an absolute brutal fight, and even though Denji can keep up a bit better than last time thanks to the training, Swordman's onigiri are too much for him. Arms gone, chainsaw broken. Only now he can also get chainsaw out of his leg, with which he could win the fight. Now, before he rots in prison forever, Denji and Aki take out some of their anger on him to get revenge for Himeno. And before they could get more information out of Savatari, she unfortunately got herself eaten. But at least now they have enough fragments to finally track down the Pistol Devil. In the end, Himeno's last cigarette is vaporized and Denji has it on him that he would better not open. Oh yeah, and then an unknown new one comes into play. So let's get to a conclusion. We have 12 very good, no average or bad episodes. An absolutely intense banger anime with absolute fantastic animation.